Little does he know that tiny, unassuming scrap of fabric is actually a lethal explosive. Your days are numbered, my dapper-dressed dog friend. Farewell. I can see why that could be effective. Hello everyone and everything, and welcome back to more Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus. In the last episode, we infiltrated the main lobby of Mugshot's operations. In this episode, I think we're gonna head over here to the Boneyard. And this is going to be the casino that we heard Mugshot mention a couple episodes ago, where everyone comes to lose their money. And we've got an odd mechanism here where this door actually will not open for us until we swing this lever, which also turns off the lights. Now personally,
Nice job getting in, but look out for those guards. Mugshot's got those machine gun-toting dogs hunting like a pack.
as I was saying, I would not attach my light switch to my door operating mechanism. And I certainly don't think I'd want it to turn off when the door opens, but you know, I don't know. So, as Bentley said, these dogs are all sort of teamed up. You may have noticed every time we've beaten a flashlight guard, or every time they've spotted us, they have sounded off a whistle. And I'll show off right now that that whistle actually calls in the cavalry. Sending other flashlight guards running for whatever the source of it was. It's interesting. It seemed to just be a sound effect, but this is actually the perfect opportunity to make some use of our hat mine. Here's how we're gonna do it, because there's almost no way that we'll be able to beat one of these guys without getting the attention of the other. So, I'm gonna carefully time this out and miss both of them. Oh, jeez. The best laid plans. Ow. Nice. Okay. Yeah, man. Hold on to that for me. No, they came running the wrong way. This is gonna be cool. This is gonna be cool. This time, it will be perfect. I've accounted for every possibility except one of them running around the edge and running them too fast to get... Grr, just die! Okay, so they like to go around the right side, I have more power than you could ever know. Wham. Right now. Homing machine gun bullets are fair. Okay, the explosion radius on the hat is just way smaller than I had thought it was. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop trying this. Alright. This operation should require stealth, precision, tactics, an eye for heat-seeking bullets, and awareness of the fact that a fourth guy showed up in the melee. None of which I possess. The power of the hat can explode without causing whistles to blow. Thus, we see how the raccoon stalks his prey and generates an infinite supply of fuzzy blue caps. He's taken up the position known as the calm before the storm. Precise killer from a more civilized age. The raccoon marks yet another target. The target's night vision is not nearly as strong as the raccoon's. The raccoon readies and silences his prey. Success! Alright. That took me way too many tries. I'm not even gonna lie about that. I'm sure you guys will have seen a nice outtake reel by this point. So here we are in the casino, and there is so much to break. Every stack of cards, chips, a lot of slot machines. This level does do a really good job of showing just how much the obstacles have stepped up their game since Raleigh's. You've got all these floor panels, tons of flashlight guards, spotlights in conjunction with all of them. We get to really see how much Sly actually has to be stealthy here instead of just being able to run in full throttle, which of course means I'm really looking forward to... Oh, they're guarding bottles. I'm really looking forward to the speedrun. Alright, no worries. Game is showering me in 1-ups right now. I think it realizes how many times I died trying to get the caps to work. Here we go. Keep out. Well, another 1-up. Yes! More disembodied Sly heads. I love the physics on these chandeliers when you land on them. They swing outwards from the position that you land. Hello? Another unsuspecting foe. I don't think my hat will fly out all that way. No, it will not. Here we go. Perfect. Now, this thing is fun. We actually have another bottle dispenser. Just in a slightly different shape. That's not bottles. I'm wrong. That's coins. There is only one bottle dispenser. Bottles really well hidden all over the place. Another level with 40 of them. Which means we've got a fair way to go from where we're at. The really short and sweet levels from Raleigh's Fortress are practically a thing of the past. I can only really think of one other level that will easily just knock out in a couple of minutes. Got some more floor panels here. Tons of bottles. I could, once again, pick my bottles here. Oh no. Oh, I'm... okay. Oh dear. This is a carnival of errors. Please no. Oh! You are no match for the power of 2 horseshoes. Another 1-up. You know, I gotta pick it up. Fun little mugshot caricature here. Caricature? Always hated that word. It reminds me of character, but it's spelled absolutely nothing like it. Ooh. And now we've got a whole new mechanic introduced here. These spinning roulette wheels. It's gonna start us off easy, but that's gonna escalate here pretty fast. I remember this one as being one of the hardest speedrun levels in the game. Definitely up there with Into the Machine. There's a lot to it. And all these loose wires are electrifying the water. Sly already can't survive in water. So of course, electricity, this whole detail, it's kind of hard to get a good look at it. Where's the water all coming from? I wonder... Did Mugshot wreck this place up and cause it to flood like this, or... Was it already like that? Is this just how people like to play at casinos? I've never been to one, so what would I know? I've never noticed these fountains before. Hang on. Is that... Well played, Sucker Punch. Well played. Some more chandeliers. Very fond of these. Hello. And another set of roulette wheels. This one with lasers, both on it and around it. Make sure we can't take too much time figuring out our jumps. Up to 36. Haven't missed any yet. I am going to say I'm sure of. These ones are spinning in the opposite direction, trying to spin you into those lasers. Okay. You made me think I missed one, but nope. Nope. Nailed it this time.
To enter the vault code. Man, I'm getting swift with deciphering these codes. Dial 338.
3. And another 3. Whoops. I know my numbers. I'm a master thief. See? I put in 337 and it still worked. Well, we got blueprints.
For Mugshot's additions to Mesa City. With these files, I'll be able to help you find all his clues and breakables. Just look through your binocucom to get the information.
So now, hopefully, fingers crossed, we're not going to have any more single bottle scares here in Mugshot. And that's going to do it here for this level. There is one more thing in our way. This giant roulette wheel.
This giant roulette wheel is spinning too fast to jump counterclockwise around it. You'll have to jump in the other direction to try to land on the green section.
Bentley, you can't tell me what to do. Oops, that's not gonna work. Maybe if I slow. We can do it. I feel like this is just possible, but maybe there's invisible walls in place to make sure it's not. So, our goal is to land on this green section. Good job, me. Alright, there's one, and it puts the other one right next to us. And puts some lasers. These are... Whoops. If I'm not mistaken, these are the only lasers in the game. Huh. I was gonna say these are the only lasers in the game with an alarm that you can't reach. But I see it. It's in the top there. I've never noticed it before. And I believe it will shatter. Yes, indeed. And that's gonna do it for the casino. %. Not too shabby. I do love that level. It's one of my favorites. Most of the levels in this game, though, are one of my favorites I've found. So let's head on in. So here we are, once again in the main lobby. Oh wait, maybe it's up here.
Would you look at that ugly mug?
I am, and I find it infinitely fascinating.
Huh?
My X-ray detection devices reveal that a secret elevator to Mugshot's penthouse is contained within that giant head.
So how do we get in?
Behind this locked wall, there's a lever that summons the elevator. But you need all 7 keys to open it up.
I'm on it.
So we're gonna head up. I believe this is the one that I will be tackling today. Got some sideways walking. I'm not gonna do that though.
get you the key, since my locator tells me it's in a jewel case somewhere near Mugshot's penthouse.
2 to Tango. Now this is a cool level. Woo! Got some nice big jumps here.
Well, 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 look who just walked into my crosshairs. Sly Cooper.
About time you showed up, Miss Fox. Was getting worried about you. Thought you took a wrong turn somewhere back in Paris.
The only one making wrong turns is you, Sly. I'd suggest you surrender before I paralyze you with my good friend, the shock pistol.
Now see, a girl whose best friend's a firearm's got issues. A little dinner, a little dancing. I think I can help you out.
Sounds romantic. As long as you don't mind dining in jail.
Nah, I hear the service is lousy.
Once I catch you, you'll know for yourself.
Ooh, I love some good old-fashioned cops and robbers. The banter between these two is great. Sly is just so self-assured. Now we are going to be dodging Carmelita for the second time. Whoa! Sorry about that, I just bumped my microphone. I'm probably going to edit that split second out. What was I saying? Right, so this is the first time since the parking lot outside of Interpol that Carmelita has been chasing up us, but her aim has improved significantly. She is a much more present threat than she was back then. However, the shock pistol bullets are very slow. As long as you continue to move, she usually won't lead you. I don't think so. Whoa. I'm missing bottles left and right over here. Ah! So, as long as you keep moving, you should be able to evade her fairly easily. But don't listen to me, because I have nearly gotten hit so many times. The good old-fashioned rooftop television. Sorry for whoever's laundry that was. There are more important things at stake at the moment. Jump down here. And we have evaded her for the moment. Already up to 30 bottles, which is reassuring. I'm hoping I haven't missed one, but hey, maybe we can check. Lots of things. Looks like we're okay as far as that direction goes. Hey man, there's a cop outside. Go deal with her. Uh-oh. Interesting. So we've got... Is this what I think it is? I think you do this. I'm wrong. Very wrong. I think you were supposed to sneak around behind him. Don't worry about it. Power of horseshoes is greater. Okay. Now if we go up here, I see the vault. I see a safe with 2 bottles in it. Nice. Success.
Good thing I know Navajo code talk. Try 532.
532. Sly, do you really have time for this? Carmelita could like bust up behind you at any second. You're right, you're right. More important things.
Yeah, this will come in handy. It's Suzanne Cooper's notes pertaining to water safety. With this knowledge under your belt, you won't have to waste a charm whenever you fall into water.
Yes! That one's so good. If we ever fall into water, Sly will immediately jump back out as though he took damage without taking any damage. We can no longer drown. Ever. Which does mean we will be deprived... Oh, she's back. We will be deprived of that wonderful drowning animation that Sly has, where he takes off his hat and goes down with the ship. But I think that's a small price to pay. So now, this is really cool. This level is so destructible. Everything that Carmelita hits is going to start shattering and falling. It makes things really tense. You'll hear more about it when we do the developer commentary for this particular stage, but the inspiration for the Carmelita levels was actually based on Crash Bandicoot, the famous moments where he's running away from like a boulder or a ram. They wanted to do something like that, where you weren't running towards the camera. And I think they pulled it off with a Blom here. So now, Carmelita has taken up the standard tactical position that they teach you about when you become a police officer, on top of the nearest balloon. So now let's go ahead and show her why that's a bad idea.
You can't run forever.
Bye, Carmelita! Success. So those are our 2 levels for this particular episode. Today's speedrun of choice is the Gunboat Graveyard. Now this is one of my absolute favorite speedruns, and you'll see why in just a second. I remember mentioning that I thought this level was a lot shorter than I remembered it being. But honestly, that's nothing. This speedrun has one of the biggest skips in the entire game, because you see there's the exit right over there, and here's some platforms. Now the developers worked really hard to make sure that this jump was just a little too far for us to make. Luckily, they failed. Here we are, at the very end. That is all there is to it. So we're back here because I want to show what I just did. It's one of the trickier jumps in the game to make. As I said, the developers worked really hard on the distance of that jump to make it just out of Sly's range. It's barely possible, but the timing is so precise if you wanted to make it. So if you just tried to push your way over to it, you'll pretty much always fall just short. And there's our new power-up about surviving water coming into play right there. So what I'm doing here, or what you want to do, is you want to aim for this piece of wood that's sticking up out of the water, this tallest one, because it's got some slope to it. So if we land on it, it will actually push us. First I need to balance on this little beam here. It will actually push us to the other side. Like, I did say this jump was hard. Don't get mad at me. So land on this little beam. Generally, it's a little easier if you get the camera at your back. Just like so. Now, it is, of course, a little difficult, but as I showed, very well worth it. Just absolutely destroys this entire level as far as the speedrun goes. Okay, that's gonna do it for this episode. I'm gonna hand it on over to the developers for the commentary of the day. In the meantime, thank you guys so much for watching, but if any of you are considering pressing that like button, well, let's just say, I hope you don't mind dining in jail. See you guys next time.
So the second approach of the game, this one actually was touched by a lot of people too.
Yeah, originally it was a huge junkyard that you were navigating through.
Yeah.
It was really confusing for the player to know where they needed to go and what was a wall and what wasn't, because everything was equally interesting.
Right.
As it was just piles and piles of trash.
Like some breakables, but some not. It was really sort of dissatisfying to play.
And then it sort of morphed into this mesa thing, primarily to define space that you could and could not walk on. As the player would progress in towards Mesa City, you get more of that kind of abandoned, desolate, not so much junkyard feeling, but ghost town vibe.
Definitely.
As you went from no man-made structures, and then you find a shack, and then you get to like a house, and then a building, and then multiple buildings, and then this sort of subway terminal,
Right.
all of which are progressively denser and denser kind of urban images.
So in this level, you've got the stick guy, you got the dog, the leash dog.
Oh yeah, there's 4 actually that I did in this level. There's the stick guy, there's the card thrower, there's the bulldog on the leash, and there's the jailbird dog.
What do you call you have kind of pet names for all the NPCs?
I have names for him because I hate calling him stick guy.
What?
Stuff, so.
You don't like stick guy?
I don't like stick guy. I'd rather call him Gorgeous
Lou.
Gorgeous Lou is the stick guy. The card thrower is Inkspot Jackson. Domination, obviously. The bulldog I never had a name for. Because I think the bulldog was actually... I didn't do the bulldog. I just helped on the animation, but I didn't. And then Polly Shackles is the jailbird dog.
That's the best idol of any NPC in the game. Trying to gnaw through his chain.
That's pretty good.
Ball and chain.
Very on theme.
Very much.
It's always cool when the NPC is showing you what he's going to be doing to you through his idol. So you get a sense what his weapon will be. Those are always successful. Both those guys do it pretty well. Oh, this level features maybe the coolest security setup of them all, where you have that kind of checkerboard on the floor with the sensors and the sweeping lasers. And it looks like you're a goner. There's no way in the world anyone could ever get through this. And you can totally get through it. But the thing is, because the security devices have to sense you before they become dangerous, you can practically run through the whole thing and live for it. But you'll be fine. But it looks just overwhelmingly tough. And in a lot of ways, that was our goal in the whole game, was to give the perception of crazy difficulty and make it very doable, so that you got that feeling you had done something exceptional and that Sly was a really exceptional thief.
And that is normally where the video would end, with me screwing around in the end slate. But, going forward, things are going to be a little different. You see, while I've been unlocking the developer's commentary for every level with a Master Thief sprint, you may have noticed that this leaves a few levels unaccounted for, such as the crab level behind me. Well, it turns out that the developers did in fact record their commentary for those sorts of levels, but never implemented a way for them to be unlocked. The recordings, however, can still be found on the disc, and so can still be listened to if you know your way around the data. I, of course, do not know my way around the data, but I want to thank Discord user Visor and YouTuber 10 for respectively ripping the data for these commentaries and compiling them. So, from now on, these videos are going to end with 2 sets of commentary, one that's normally unlockable and one of these secret tracks. I hope you enjoy.
The design for this actually originated at a local Chinese restaurant over lunch one day, where we were trying to decide what kind of minigames we wanted to do. And when I was growing up playing coin-op, I was a huge fan of Robotron, which clearly influenced this a little bit with the move and shoot. But I was also a big fan of a really, really old game called Rip-Off, where you and a friend would try and defend these little triangles of, loot from the marauding hordes. And so this is kind of our combo of those two, where you've got elements, the control and the firepower of Robotron, and the sort of mechanic of protecting things from Rip-Off.
Yeah, it's actually, the big thing about it is it's really fast. There's a lot of really fast action in it. There's a lot of, it's a sort of nice combination of you having to be at the controls and just shoot things, as well as sort of deciding where you need to go to
Position yourself.
Where you need to position yourself, because there's a bunch, as it gets near the end, there's a bunch of chests that are all being taken, so you have to get the closest guy to the exit before you go and get somebody else. So there's a little bit of thought involved, a little bit of player choice involved as well.
Also, I remember the very first version of this, there was no rock in the middle.
Yeah.
And we all really enjoyed playing it, but I think it was my Robotron background that I was sweeping around. And we had one of the developers who'd never played Robotron just sat in the middle and just shot in circles, just was never moved.
That was a bit of a shock. It made it sort of more like you were playing a
reverse Tempest game or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, once we realized that strategy, then we came up with the brilliant rock strategy,
Which forces you to have to move around a little bit.
yeah, it forces you to at least circle the environment so that
Yeah.
there's no shadow behind the rock that you can't protect.
One of the big things we always had, similar to the tank levels that we were a little bit worried about with this level, was whether people would be able to deal with having two joysticks at once. And as a matter of fact, some people don't go full Robotron. They don't go
Yeah.
full
Move, shoot independently.
move and shoot independently. They'll move to a place and then stop and shoot, or they'll so they either
Or they'll
are
move and
moving-
shoot always the same direction.
That's correct. They'll
drive
always
it.
press up on the stick or something like that.
Well, they'll move the sticks together in concert. Both
Okay.
sticks always the same direction. But the game is beatable by a variety of players.
Yeah.
And I think most people, when we've observed it, it may take people a few tries, but everyone seems to get through it, which is, I think, also a really good thing about this minigame. Oh, and it also uses projected. If you look at the texture on the floor, there's a projected texture down there to try and give some early. This is really actually fairly early on, but it's got some sort of caustics moving around in the environment.
Mwahahaha. Little does he know that little honest. Dang it. Like I said, the developers made sure that that jump is just too far. If you try and make it. Wait. I have an idea. He just shot his own guy. That was absolutely not my idea, but I like how it happened anyway. Why do I keep trying to use the hat? Oh, coming the wrong way. Come on, guys, work with me. Work with me! This operation shall require stealth, precision, tactics, and a dubiously explosive hat. Ow. Clearly, I don't possess any of these things. Got one. That. Ah! Come on! For I am the knight. A master of stealth, and planning, and tactics, and explosives, finally!